the lost children in the caves, about their new mythology, about the devastation of this world, how they survived, how they created their own God and strove for immortality. But there were enemies. This is that story.
The Hun on the ground came down. They are not one of us. Kill every last one, starting with the women and their children.
They are not like us. They live another way.
It's not what we know. Heathen, they must all go. We cannot tolerate their sinfulness. Look up on the hill.
See them planning your demise. They wanna take what you own, steal it for themselves. They wanna plan your end, your end, your end. You'll never get out of town fast enough. Cut you down where you stand.
The laundry list of things goes on. And like I said yesterday, it didn't feel like there was the fervency to really riot and burn the city down like what they want to do, which is get somebody killed, lie about it, call it murder, then use that as an excuse to burn the cities down. It's pretty clear to anybody with any IQ or any common sense that they're trying to start this up on purpose because they're not happy with the political landscape. And so they're trying to use terrorism, i.e., rioting and, and whatnot to get their way, but they're just not motivated. And the killing of the girl, from the I've seen enough angles of it to I do believe the guy was not trying to just shoot someone. I think he was trying to stop her from driving the vehicle, and then she wouldn't stop, and then she ran into him. He was backed up on his feet, and he was actually up in the air slightly. And he felt he had to stop her, so it was not him, but the other gunman behind him. They wanted to stop her, and they obviously were barking orders to stop, and she wouldn't stop. And so she got shot. It's terrible, terrible tragedy, but you take that chance. I could take that chance robbing a bank. Odds are I'll probably get away with it, I'll probably get that money out of there. But there's a good chance I'll get caught and a good chance I'll be killed. And if so, then I bet wrong. It's a high risk venture she was doing. This woman was trained in, I guess, protesting ICE because they need ICE. ICE cuts into the money supply of all the fraud you've been reading about. So without ICE, they can go back to business as usual. But with ICE and law enforcement in general, what they can do is they can stop a lot of the fraud, interdict it, obviously arrest people, and then ICE has access to illegals. And the reason that's a big part of the deal is because a lot of the illegals are the people that they get the money and they pass the money on. And everybody kind of does their part, and it gets washed. It goes back to politicians, and it's part of the whole corrupt system. So illegals are very important. In fact, they're more important than legals in terms of money and profit. They're more important than legals, but it's a system that they feel if they can't lose it. If they lose it, they would be out of business, basically. And there would be no more Democrat Party. That would be pretty much the end of them. So they're going to fight, and they're going to go to civil war conditions as the plan by John Podesta had called for. And they're going to try to implement civil war conditions and try to impeach Trump at the same time for being a dictator and being. But they've been trying this, and I don't know if it doesn't seem to be working because he's busy working on other things. I've said the corruption of Trump has annoyed me to no end. It has annoyed me to no end. The idea that he, just the whole history of the shadow side of Trump annoys me to no end. The good side, as far as what he can do for the world, the economy, peace, trade, those kind of things, are panning out and are more and more very respectable people, high-end financial analysts, economists, heads of corporations who are seeing that the guy's planning has been effective and will redound to the benefit of people, and already is in some ways because of the deficit, cutting of the deficit. The additional oil the United States is getting is a tremendous economic boon. I mean, you may see gas for under $1 a gallon at some point as a result of all this. It's pretty crazy. And so my conscience, what I feel bad about, I guess, is that nobody's perfect, So in the case of Trump, he's got some corruption aspects blended in with the more righteous aspects. But then again, find me a man that doesn't have corruption or is not and somehow weakened by the Washington, D.C. game or the Hollywood game. I'll say that'd be very rare. That'd be Jesus. Hydration. So, not a perfect world for anybody. And it's sad what happened, but now I see that there are friends I used to have that now want to kill me because I don't agree with them about the murder of this woman, that ICE is just a cold-blooded murderer. And I don't believe that. I believe they're highly trained to do what they're doing and avoid the scrutiny of sloppy things like murders and, corruption, mishandling their power. All of that, I'm sure they're training all the time on. It didn't look to me like a mad power grab. It looked like she was accelerating, and her front wheel was spinning, by the way, in favor toward the officer, and they just put a stop to it. But they've been bothering, she'd been doing this leading up to this point. She'd been doing this over and over. So I mean, but the video clearly shows that it's not, premeditated murder. And there's nothing I can do. I can watch it 100. I can say, look, you could put 3 fingers instead of 4 up and say, how many am I holding up, expecting the answer to be 4? From here till doomsday, I'm like the guy in 1984. I'll never go along with that. The fact that you lie and you'll kill people because they won't believe your lie, it really breaks my heart that you would be willing to murder me, because I don't see it the same way. I see 4 fingers, not 3, let's say. You see 3, not 4. And if I don't say the right answer, I get my head blown off, because of your hatred. And then going around pretending to be the hurt party, the lovey-dovey party and all that. I've watched you all my life. I've taken your abuse all my life. And no more. We just consider this to be a disconnect. I usually ask people before they want to talk to me about politics or whatever, I will say, well, are you a leftist? Are you a Democrat? If you're a Democrat, a leftist or whatever, I'd say, no, it's no discussion. I'll talk to you as a human being, but I will not discuss politics. I will not discuss the world, because you lie. You lie. You could see something in plain sight, like the footage of the shooting, and then come back and say that's cold-blooded murder, and if you don't do something about it, we're going to burn down the entire United States and kill everyone in it. And I'm like, that kind of insane violence that you people subscribe to, I don't know where you get it. I know that there will be more shootings. That's what I want to talk about today. I don't believe anyone's going to agree. I believe that the footage is close enough so that most people are going to take away their own idea about it, and they're not going to be objective. So I believe judges will be. I don't believe this guy will be arrested for murder. And if he is, it means that weak politicians have caved to the left and decided they're going to bring this guy in for murder. And, and basically ruin his life. So he definitely has an uphill push, because they'll try whatever tricks they can. They'll dox him. They'll give his address out. They'll follow him around. They'll have ways of. If I were him, I would go into witness protection. Call it a day. And that's the end of your service. Thank you very much. Also, I got a thing in the mail today, which is very interesting. They're recruiting in German, and they're paying. I think that they're paying like. I can't tell you, but there's a whole pay schedule, and it's all these openings for law enforcement for the border, but they're advertising in German. They're advertising in German for German. You might think, is that a Nazi thing? They're trying to make it look like Nazis are recruiting. It was weird. Have you seen this? It was weird, and I think that so they're serious about war, and they're serious about killing. So you have to be really careful. If you want to live. And you're not unhinged. That's right. They're unhinged and you're not. It's not both sides are wrong. It's not both sides are corrupt. One is corrupt and out of power, and they're disgruntled about it. So therefore they want to fight. And that's it in a nutshell. Please Let's get back to common sense logic. Common sense logic. What's going to happen? Anybody's guess, but I mean, if they do that, and they try to make it an arrest, and they're also Waltz or whatever. He's gotten off the hook from the Somali scam, and now it's full time. Thank God this shooting came along for Waltz. Now he's got the cover to go do this and avoid the scandal. Isn't that something? And so he's hiding in this. What a snake. How can you elect a guy like that? Amazing. But you did. And so I don't know what liberal means. I used to think liberal meant peaceful, make love, not war. Remember that? No tricky dicky, no Vietnam. Remember that? Turns out just the opposite. No. Anyway, I keep my powder dry. I suppose what's going on is all of this is prelude to doing a coup d'etat against Trump. That means removing him. Let me cut to the Zeffy, Daniel. Come on. Let me do my gift of what you pay me so much money for, what you pay me a total celebrity for. Oh, thank you for not doing that. But I believe what's in the plan is they want to do a physical military coup d'etat against the White House, and they want to extract Trump like Maduro, put him on trial for treason, and all the rest of it. And that's what I believe they're doing. They're also, according to Tim Waltz, they're training for National Guard. They're training soldiers. He used the word soldier. They're training soldiers now to go up against ICE, meaning they're training soldiers to go against the federal government, and meaning they're training soldiers to get ready to have their own army. Every bit as strong. Remember Obama? Every bit as powerful as our military army, to make it a civilian army. And they're recruiting for that right now. And they're training to go head to head against the US military. And the goal is to launch it's like the movie Civil War. They want to launch a military coup d'etat. If you want to see what that looks like visually, you can tune into the last 5 minutes of Civil War, the movie. And you can see them, take over the White House, arrest everyone in it, kill most of the people, and then finally kill the president in the Oval Office. I'm sorry, I'm just dehydrated. It's weird. So what do you think of? No, this is good. This iced tea is good. So what do you think about that? That we're witnessing a training of a different army designed to take over this one, even to recruit from this one, from the regular army away from Trump, in order to launch a coup against him, to physically force him from office ASAP. That's the plan, in my opinion. Will they be successful? It's anybody's guess. That one is you'd have to handicap it. What, 5-2? I really don't know what the 2-1 odds. I'm not sure what it would be, but that's where this is right now. And also a possible secession of blue states. But in the end, what they really want is to reign blue over all states. and they realize they have to have a one world, one party system, or it doesn't work. Communism does not work with shared parties, and never has. It's either them or nothing. So they want to implement that. And so when you have things like shootings and who's responsible and corruption and Somalis, and Ukraine filtering and washing money and kicking it back to politicians, so they leave office where they came in as wage workers and they leave as millionaires. Know that the final solution means killing you. So being the crew on the bridge on the River Kwai, no, that's not, you're just building a bridge for your enemy to cross so they can kill you easier. Anyway, they seem to understand what I'm saying. And I don't think they disagree with me. And they will realize that, in the end, I don't have animus toward them. I really don't. Animus meaning, anger, really. I understand, brainwashing and all that. I understand how powerful that can be. But still, we all face it. And in the aftermath of a bloodbath in the United States, the only winners would be the global corporatocracy, the scientific dictatorship, the people of the singularity, the eat bugs and be happy group, the WEF. That's who you're appeasing. That's who benefits. Follow the money. And it goes to the big global domineering, Larry Fink. Bill Gates. Your old friend Fauci. All those guys. The news media people. Big banks. And who's left out? You do the dying for the Democrats. You die like that woman died. She died in the service of her cause, which was promoted by the Democrats. That's the Democrat cause. So she died for the Democrats. She died for the eventual successful coup d'etat of Donald J. Trump before we lose this whole world. And they justify it by saying the whole world will be gone if we don't get Trump out now. There'll be no world for our children. Do you believe that? I have a detached view, which I've sort of, I kind of have a feeling that a lot of this wouldn't be happening unless people were damn bored. And they wouldn't be bored if we would just get on with the technology and on with exploration of space or getting through the Van Allen belt or whatever you got to do to get out there somewhere to get something new going. I think people are just damn bored. And so they're going to, from time to time, have global war. Rather than expanding, learning, understanding, growing, doing what desperately needs to be done for the benefit of humanity and even the benefit of this planet. But no, retarded, because we got to go back to the old way of corruption, get the working man to work, and then Skype the money off his back for taxes, but instead of taxes, it goes to Somalis who are laundering it through various NGOs and then back to politicians' pockets. You go work. All your tax money, you work for me. I can sit there all day watching TV, having sex with my various wives, doing drugs, whatever I feel like doing, while you work for me. You work and I take your money, is what one Somali guy was telling some white guy. You go to work because you're my slave. You go to work, you pay your taxes because you're my slave. Because I get your tax money. You pay me. You work and then you pay me. And that's why I'm not going to give you any real pension fund, any good 401k, not a good economy to look forward to with your kids. I want to make sure that you work hard and feel like you're going to get somewhere, but then you don't, so you give up. Then I'm going to take your next generation and your next one and your next one, because I am the conqueror here, not you. And they feel that their beef is with ICE. They feel that their beef is with Donald Trump. They feel that their beef is with MAGA Republicans. They feel their beef is with capitalism. They feel their beef is with the evil world system. They suck the toes of those in the WEF, in the UN, in these global organizations who have no other plan except to enslave humanity and get rid of the ones that are useless eaters. Can we understand that once? We're in the same boat. We're just food. Uh-oh, I cut to the chase. Sorry. You want to get back to the minutia? Who's the next guy to get killed? Let's go get the ICE. What is it we're looking for? The home numbers and the phone numbers. Let's go get them and burn them down. And we win. Yes. You win the Idiot of the Century Award. You win the Ultimate Fool Asshole Award. You let down your country, you let down yourself, you let down your kids, you let everyone down because you just couldn't put two fucking brain cells together. And I don't think anyone cares if you're a Republican or not, or even conservative, except conservative enough to understand that the way things are done here technically is still better than elsewhere. And if you think it's better elsewhere, then you need to move today elsewhere. And if it's because of corruption that you exist here as a parasite, well, then you should be adjudicated. They should, build shelters for homeless migrants, I guess, on Greenland. And you could, go there and, have your rice and whatever else you eat. Oh, God. Thank you for indulging me. Having a little tea Java. A pretty good tea. I associate that with getting serious about health, hydration, supplementation, all that stuff. Anyway, so just a shout out. I don't think, there's nothing I could add new. Lizard Index today, January 9th. It's Friday. Oh my gosh. Friday. Lizard Index. Folks, we're still riding a cloud. 1.5. We're still riding a cloud. Despite what you saw with the shooting, it didn't affect it. I mean, I guess theoretically it could affect it, but it didn't really, looking back on it, nothing really happened. People screamed about this woman and people lost friends, but you would have lost those friends anyway. Those people never loved you. They're never going to love you. They're never going to show you respect. And if you, want to be friends with them and you respect them and love them and they don't return the same to you, it's on you to get up and get out of that relationship. Don't let yourself be used as a doormat or just as a, as a toy to just, roughhouse, play with, and throw it away or break it. gotta respect yourself more than that. The world's not going to love you. They may love the local rock star and all that, but they're not going to love you. And the way you can tell if they don't love you is when you give them love, when you give them respect, the same respect does not come back. They're allowed to talk and say their piece, but you're not allowed to talk and say your piece. When something like that happens, you need to disconnect immediately, because the longer you hang on, the longer that lizard index will be going right through the roof. You'll be attacked from all sides. They will kick your ass all over the field. You got to take decisive action. Lizard index refers to your daily life, the life that you lead going to the grocery store, the bank, working to pay your bills, taking your kids to school, interacting with your neighbors, any kind of social appointments. That's your lizard index. How hard is it for you to accomplish any one of those goals? Sometimes people just get so screwed up, they just become still. They just can't move. And it's because they've been betrayed. They've been betrayed again and again and again. And it's part of Islam's, training, that they would go into a new nation and deceive the nations of the world, that they would use deception. And when you find someone's trying to use you as a doormat or through deception, now you know you're part of a targeting program, and you better get your ass out of there. This idea that you forgive and forgive, you can forgive the guy that disrespects you. Feel sorry for him, in fact, and move on without creating another sin pattern on you, that's on you. And with that, I'm going to bid you shalom. I'm not going to get all worked up over this because it's not worth it. I'm going to, to the extent I can, have a pretty good day. We've had, a flu update. I guess that puts the lizard index at about a 5, because not everybody gets the flu, but it's a super flu they launched. And I say they launched it because it's not behaving like a regular flu. It's behaving like a super flu, like they did something to it. Well, if you're my age, you just stay away from airports, and that's it. I've had to cancel things, and I have to just be patient. I can't just go into town. They're working on my car. I had an accident the other day. I know, I've got 3 or 4 cars out of commission. Old age driving, right? And I'm trying to figure out how, who can help me pick it up, and drive it. At the same time, they're going to be contaminated. So I'm, dealing with these kinds of questions. But when you're in your 70s, and I'd say in your late 60s and on, it's just like, if it's a warning for children, it's a warning for you seniors, that you've got to be careful with the flu, because it will kill you if you let it. To be as vigilant as possible and to have the right tools to fight it, if anything goes wrong. And I had something when I came back from the beach. It was a cold, not to be confused with the flu, but maybe that gave me some extra antibodies to fight. Anyway, I'm not going to go test it and find out. I'm going to have to just be quiet. Still got the podcast and all that. I think the thing that you're going to see is Trump is focused on, they're just while they're running after this, he's on to Greenland and Cuba and oil in the region. Now the oil has changed. Trump is going to run the oil. He's going to rebuild it himself. So he feels that a lot of that oil was stolen assets from American citizens. So that's what he's going to work on. And while the entire left wing is going to be working on social justice, I guess. What do you call it when they have a false flag in social justice? They're going to be dealing with for the next however long with this. They're going to milk this murder thing as far as it can go. Wait outside the courtroom if they can get the guy adjudicated or arrested. They're going to just stay on it and bird dog this guy until there's nothing left. So we've had a pretty good run, but that doesn't affect the lizard index. You see what I mean? You can be in a state of war and have a low lizard index. You can be in a state of peace and have a high lizard index. And with that, I bid you shalom, oh my good friends. It's so nice to see you. This is not a tape loop. It's so nice to see you. I didn't say that in the beginning. It's nice to communicate to you. I got lots of ideas I'd like to share with you, but I couldn't do it. I have a song that I remixed called Ice Wall. It was a remix of a song that I created in a like really loud, wild dubstep type of genre, and then now I'm moving more toward rock. So I put it in kind of heavy rock, and I really like the way it turned out. And it's on the stack somewhere. But I did it so I could have dopamine. Anyway, with that, I bid you shalom.
To the shadowland, to the shadowland. I'm your escort. I'm your escort. I'm your escort. I'm your escort down, down, down. I'm your escort. I'm your escort. There's blood in your eye and blood on your hands.
Where am I? Let's just say you're on Mars. All is as it should be. Wait a sec. I need to know what happened here. It may be very difficult for you to know what happened here. It's like a... What are we in? It sounds like Moroccan disco. Where are we? You know about having fun, right? What would I be doing on Mars? Come on in.
It's not where you are, don't you realize you've come undone? That music is playing just in your mind. It's the last illusion at the end of the
Let me have another one of those. Yeah, I need about 5 of those. Been here before. I think so. Hey, how you doing?
I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. You think there's been a mistake?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hello, I'm your psychopomp angel. I lead the confused from their deathbed. I said hello. I'm your psychopomp angel.
Yeah, I can see out the window. A lot of people. But how do I get out of this room?
And how do you feel now about the situation?
How do I feel about this situation?
How do you really feel about this situation?
I don't really know.
You're probably wondering how you'll ever return home. I'm sorry to tell you, I didn't tell you the truth. This is not Mars.
This is not Mars.
I want you to recall what happened.
Well, sir, or whatever you are, I don't recall.
You don't recall.
No, as I said, I don't recall.
It's a pity that you don't recall.
Why is it a pity that I don't recall? I asked you a question.
You can't get an answer in this place.
No, 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 we're not going to the space bar to have a boo and a spectacular view of Mars. No, 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 we're not looking to score at the disco with the girls who look so bored.
All right. I'm willing to confess that maybe I know more than what I said.
It seems that crimes were committed.
Are you saying that I'm a criminal?
We just want to make sure that you do what is expected of you. Do you think you can do that?
What is expected of me?
It seems there is unfinished business. Business that must be taken care of.
Something did happen to me.
Yes, something did happen to you.
You should have seen the look on your face when the bullet went through, leaving just a trace. You were surprised I figured it out so quick. Your karma trends now on an upward tick.
And so, if we give you another chance, do you think you can do your duty?
Who is she? Why does she keep appearing in so many different forms?
You don't seem to have the proper motivation.
Are you gonna let me out of here? Hey! Who are you? You look like a shadow. I've had time to think about it. I will do as you say.
So you do remember our arrangement, after all.
I do remember that, yes.
Are you quite sure you see things differently?
This time I will do exactly as you say.
It seems your contract is expired.
Just let me out and I'll do exactly as you say. I promise. Hey, where'd you go? Come back!